10 Stoic rules to rebuild yourself alone and destroy the old you. You stand at the edge of change. The person you once were is gone, not by accident but by choice. The old you was shaped by comfort, distraction, and the opinions of others. The new you must be forged in solitude, discipline, and truth. If you wish to rebuild yourself, you must first tear down the false walls you have lived behind. Follow these 10 rules, and you will rise again, unshaken. Rule 1. Control what you can, release what you cannot. The old you wasted energy trying to bend the world to your will. The new you will learn that peace comes from mastering yourself, not the storms outside. Rule 2. Embrace discomfort. The old you ran from pain and sought ease. The new you understands that growth is born from struggle. Choose the harder path, for it will shape you into someone unbreakable. Rule 3. Speak less, act more. The old you talked about change but rarely walked in it. The new you will let your actions speak so loudly that words are no longer needed. Rule 4. Live by principles, not feelings. The old you was a servant to emotions, angry when provoked, joyful when flattered. The new you will be steady, guided by reason and values that do not shift with the wind. Rule 5. Stand alone without fear. The old you needed the approval of the crowd. The new you will walk alone if necessary, knowing that solitude strengthens the mind. Rule 6. Remove the unnecessary. The old you was weighed down by possessions, habits, and relationships that served no purpose. The new you will cut away the excess, leaving only what sharpens the soul. Rule 7. End the war with the past. The old you replayed regrets and old wounds. The new you will accept that the past cannot be altered, only learned from. Rule 8. Keep your mind sharp and disciplined. The old you allowed thoughts to drift aimlessly. The new you will train the mind daily with reflection, reading, and deliberate thought, for the mind is the fortress of the soul. Rule 9. Take responsibility for all things within your reach. The old you blamed the world. The new you understands that ownership of your actions, your words, and your time is the foundation of self-mastery. Rule 10. Live as though your time is short. The old you acted as if life was endless. The new you knows that every day is a gift and will waste none of it on trivial pursuits. Self-mastery over external control. Focus your energy on controlling your thoughts, actions, and choices instead of trying to control outside events. To rebuild yourself, you must begin with the most important battle you will ever fight, the battle within. The truth is simple. You control almost nothing in this world. You cannot decide the weather, the actions of others, or the twists of fate that life will deliver. Yet there is a realm where your power is absolute, and it lies within your own mind. Your thoughts, your choices, your actions, these are yours alone. The old you was distracted by the illusion of control, believing that happiness could be found by shaping the world to fit your desires. But the more you tried, the more frustrated you became, because the world will never bend to one person's will. The new you understands that freedom is found not in changing the outside, but in mastering the inside. When a storm comes, you cannot stop the rain, but you can choose how to walk through it. When someone speaks ill of you, you cannot silence their tongue, but you can choose how you respond. When plans collapse, you cannot undo the moment, but you can choose to adapt. This is the power that no one can take from you, the power over yourself. The one who learns this becomes unshakable, for nothing outside can reach in and disturb the calm within. The old you reacted to every insult, every disappointment, every unexpected turn. The new you will pause, breathe, and decide your response based on wisdom, not impulse. This control is not achieved by accident. It is the result of discipline, of training your mind daily. It is choosing to see events not as enemies, but as teachers. If someone betrays you, it is a lesson in trust and boundaries. If you lose something dear, it is a lesson in detachment. If you face hardship, it is a lesson in endurance. The old you saw life as unfair. The new you will see it as a series of opportunities to strengthen yourself. To master yourself, you must also guard your thoughts. Do not let them wander into envy, resentment, or self-pity, for these are weeds that choke the growth of the soul. Instead, plant thoughts of patience, courage, and gratitude. When anger rises, see it as a test to keep your composure. When fear approaches, use it as a chance to act with courage. When sorrow comes, let it remind you that all things are temporary, both joy and pain alike. You cannot control the world, but you can control how you walk through it. This is the foundation of rebuilding yourself. Once you accept this truth, the chaos outside will lose its power over you. The storms will still come, the winds will still blow, but you will stand firm. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. The new you is not a master of the earth, but a master of the self, and that mastery is the only true freedom. Embrace discomfort for growth, seek challenges and hardships as tools to strengthen your character and resilience. The path to rebuilding yourself is not found in comfort, but in the fire of discomfort. The old you avoided pain, sought ease, and clung to whatever was soft and safe. But safety is a cage, and comfort is the chain that keeps you bound to weakness. If you truly wish to destroy the old you, you must walk willingly into difficulty and welcome it as your teacher. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is the forge where strength is made. Iron is not hardened in warm air. It is tempered in the heat of the flame. So too must you be tested by trial if you wish to emerge unbreakable. The old you thought that the good life meant avoiding all struggle, but every time you avoided the hard road, you denied yourself growth. Muscles grow by being torn, the mind sharpens by being challenged, and the spirit strengthens by enduring. If you always choose the easy path, you will remain soft, fragile, and unprepared for life's inevitable storms. The new you understands that every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to train the soul. When life becomes hard, you will not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you will say, "This is the moment I was made for." You will seek discomfort intentionally, not because you enjoy pain, but because you understand what it produces. Rise earlier than you wish, work harder than you think you can, step into the cold instead of seeking warmth, push your body when it cries for rest, speak the truth when silence would be easier. Every time you do this, you break the old self that once ruled you with weakness. You prove to yourself that your mind commands your body and not the other way around. Discomfort also strips away illusions. When you are comfortable, you can believe lies about yourself. You can think you are disciplined, patient, or brave. But the moment discomfort arrives, the truth is revealed. A man is not patient until he has been tested by delay. A man is not courageous until he has faced fear. A man is not disciplined until he has resisted temptation. The new you will not hide from these tests. You will seek them out because you know they will expose your weaknesses, and in that exposure you will find the chance to strengthen them. This is the paradox of discomfort. It feels like breaking, but it is building. It feels like loss, but it is gain. It feels like pain, but it is the birth of resilience. The old you avoided this truth, the new you will live by it. You will no longer run from the fire. You will walk into it with steady steps, knowing that you will not be destroyed, but refined. And when the world tries to shake you again, it will find no weakness left to exploit, because you have already faced the hard path and made it your home. Live by unchanging principles. Let reason and virtue guide your decisions rather than fluctuating emotions or public opinion. The old you wasted countless hours speaking of change, but rarely took the steps to make it real. Words are easy. They demand no sacrifice, no discipline, and no endurance. They can make you feel as if you have accomplished something when, in truth, nothing has changed. This is the trap of talk without action. It gives the illusion of progress while leaving you exactly where you are. The new you must understand that change is not declared, it is demonstrated. You will speak less of what you intend to do and instead let your actions carry the weight of your intentions. When you speak less, you conserve energy that would otherwise be spent convincing others or justifying yourself. Instead of explaining your plans, you will build them. Instead of announcing your goals, you will pursue them quietly. Let your victories speak for themselves, for they will echo far louder than any promise you could make. There is a certain strength in silence, a focused determination that needs no witness until the work is complete. Those who constantly talk about their ambitions often do so to earn approval before they have achieved anything. But the one who acts without seeking praise is free from the chains of other people's opinions. This discipline also trains you to measure your life by results, not intentions. The old you might have been satisfied simply because you wanted to improve. But desire alone changes nothing. It is the discipline of repeated, deliberate action that transforms you. If you wish to be stronger, you must lift the weight, not speak of lifting it. If you wish to learn, you must read, study, and apply, not merely talk about how you should. If you wish to overcome a weakness, you must face it daily, not declare to others that you will someday conquer it. Silence is not passivity, it is focus. When you remove the need to constantly talk about your goals, you remove the distractions that often derail them. You will stop explaining yourself to those who do not understand, and you will stop seeking applause from those whose praise has no value. Your work will be done for its own sake, not for the approval it might bring. And when you do speak, your words will carry weight because they will be backed by the credibility of consistent action. You will become the kind of person whose promises are believed because they are always fulfilled. The old you might have been dismissed as all talk. The new you will be recognized as all action. In this way, you will earn respect without demanding it, and influence without asking for it. The world has more than enough voices shouting empty promises. Be different, speak less, act more, and let your life itself be the loudest thing about you. Detach from the unnecessary, remove possessions, habits, and relationships that do not serve your higher purpose. The old you was a servant to emotions, moving wherever they pushed you, like a ship tossed by every wave. Anger could make you reckless, fear could make you retreat, joy could make you careless, and sadness could make you stop moving altogether. You lived as if feelings were commands instead of signals, obeying them without question. But if you wish to rebuild yourself, you must no longer be ruled by these passing states. You must learn to live by principles, unchanging, steady, and rooted in reason, so that your actions are guided by what is right, not by what feels easy or comfortable in the moment. Principles act as a compass when emotions try to lead you astray. Emotions are temporary and can be distorted by fatigue, hunger, pride, or pain. One day you may feel confident and brave, and the next you may feel doubtful and timid. If you let feelings decide your path, you will wander without direction. But principles remain fixed no matter what storms arise. If your principle is honesty, you will tell the truth whether you feel it will help or hurt you. If your principle is discipline, you will keep working even when you feel unmotivated. If your principle is justice, you will treat others fairly whether you like them or not. The old you acted based on mood, doing what was convenient in the moment. The new you will act based on values, doing what is necessary regardless of mood. This is not about denying emotions. They are a natural part of life, but about putting them in their rightful place. Feelings can be acknowledged, but they must not be the driver of your actions. A soldier in battle may feel fear, but principle commands him to stand his ground. A leader may feel the urge to please everyone, but principle demands that he make the right decision, not the popular one. Living by principle also protects you from the manipulations of others. Those who seek to control you often do so by stirring your emotions through anger, flattery, fear, or guilt, but if your choices are anchored in principles, such tactics lose their power. You become harder to sway, harder to deceive, harder to corrupt. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. This way of living requires constant reflection. You must know your principles clearly, define them, and commit to them before the trials come. When challenges arrive, it will be too late to decide what you believe. You must already know. In this way, your life will be built on a foundation that no passing feeling can erode. The old you was a leaf in the wind. The new you will be a rooted tree, unmoved by every gust. Feelings will rise and fall, but your principles will remain, guiding you toward the life you are determined to build. Act with urgency, recognize life's brevity, and use your time with intention. Avoiding waste on trivial matters, the old you relied on the presence and approval of others to feel secure, to feel valid, to feel strong. You measured your worth by the number of people around you, by the praise they gave, by how often they agreed with you. But this dependence was a weakness disguised as belonging. When those people left, when their approval faded, so did your confidence. To rebuild yourself, you must learn to stand alone without fear, to be complete in yourself even when no one stands beside you. Solitude is not a punishment. It is the proving ground of the soul. When you are alone, there is no one to lean on, no one to distract you from your own thoughts. This is where you learn who you truly are. In solitude, you face the truth of your own character without the noise of other voices. You see your strengths clearly, but you also confront your weaknesses without excuse. Many run from solitude because they are afraid of what they might discover about themselves. The new you will not run. You will welcome the stillness, for it is in that quiet that real growth begins. Standing alone teaches you to be your own anchor. The crowd can change its mind in a day. Friends can fail you, and even those who love you cannot always stand where you stand. If your courage depends on their presence, you will lose it when they are gone. But if your courage is rooted in your own conviction, no absence will shake it. You will act not because others support you, but because you know the action is right. This does not mean rejecting all connection or isolating yourself forever. It means you do not depend on others for your sense of direction or worth. You can walk with people, but you do not need them to walk. You can listen to advice, but you will not be lost without it. When you can stand alone, you can also stand stronger with others, because you are not clinging to them for your own stability. You bring stability to them. The old you feared rejection, feared the empty room, feared the silence. The new you understands that the empty room is a place of building, that silence is where clarity is born. Alone, you can sharpen your mind without interruption, strengthen your resolve without distraction, and deepen your purpose without compromise. You will walk through life knowing that even if every voice falls silent, your own will still speak with strength. To stand alone without fear is to carry a fortress within yourself, one that no betrayal, no loss, and no abandonment can destroy. This is freedom, this is power, and this is the mark of the new you, a person who can walk into any place, face any moment, and remain whole, even if the world turns its back.